So I wanted to throw every disc in my bag. I have 20 that I generally carry. I want to throw every one of them to see, number one, how they fly. There's a little bit of a headwind, maybe 5 mile per hour headwind. I want to throw each one of them to see how they fly, how far they go. I'm going to use the rangefinder at the end and range back to my bag where the camera is and just see how far they fly, where they go. But I'm more importantly looking for where they break. For example, if I throw a distance driver, where does it stop going straight and start going left or something like that? So I'm going to give a few distances. This set of bushes that are right here in front of me, 43 yards. I mean, I don't really think they're going to come into play any, but the trees off in the far distance, and I don't know that I could get into the camera to see this, but right there, those guys from the camera, 111 yards, so 333 feet. The T-pad that's off in the distance out here, I don't know if you can see it or not, but out there is 150 yards, so 450 feet. I don't think that one has anything to worry about. Well, again, what I'm looking for is general shape of flight, general distance, and roughly where the disc begins to break. Start off with my putting putters, my P model US's and Basegrip. I generally try to get my putters somewhere in around the 220 to 240 mark. So let's see, throwing everything straight, pretty flat. Try to release it with a flat angle straight in front of me and release it to where it flies around 10 feet off the ground. Pulled it over just a bit, kind of falls to the right and holds itself. Another P model US. Basically the same shape flight. Whenever I try to release them flat, I have a tendency sometimes to pull it over just a bit. My understable and straight, or understable and stable mids, I have an Origio burst Warship, a VIP Warship, and a VIP Glimmer Warship. So let's start with the Origio burst first. I'm expecting this one to go straight and then kind of fall to the right. You can see it's definitely understable. It flattened itself out right before it touched down. Here's the VIP. Teeny bit nose up, but basically straight. Here's the Glimmer VIP. Little higher. Pretty much the same flight. I like the Glimmer one. It is a little bit more torque resistant if I need to forehand. My other two mid-ranges, an older kind of beat in, worn in Lucid Verdict and a relatively new Glimmer Lucid Verdict. Let's look at the beat in Lucid Verdict first. Pulled it just a bit to the right, but you can see it's holding itself straight and has a nice, good, hard, strong finish. The Warships have a tendency to just kind of fall to the left, whereas the Verdicts will actually go left and finish hard. Here's that Glimmer one, and it's way more overstable. You can see, yeah, I didn't get it up nearly as high as the other one, but you can see it's definitely wanting to go left. My slower, I guess you might say, fairways, understable, I have a 500 F3. Straight to stable, I have a first run Z Vulture. And extremely overstable, utility style, is a Tournament Ahti from Westside. Let's go with that F3 first. Straight, and then it begins to turn to the right, catches itself, and finishes. If I need to go straight down a tunnel and I have room to move left to right, that's what I'm going to throw. Here's that first run Z Vulture. A little bit nose up, but you can see it basically flies like the Verdicts. It's just a longer Verdict. Now this guy here, the Tournament Ahti, super overstable. Again, flies almost like that verdict, like that Glimmer verdict. For my control drivers or my faster fairway drivers, I have an Opto Sapphire from Latitude 64, a gnat in my ear, a Duraflex Glow F Model S Prodigy, and 2 Sergeants from Dynamic Disc. This one is Lucid, this one is BioFuzion. So let's take a look at them. First, I'll start off with the Sapphire, which is very understable and very light, but in the woods, it's just magnificent. Turns to the right, grabs itself, and then goes and finishes. And I don't know if you can see this. I'll tell you at the end. I'll flash the distances up on camera, but that is 50 feet longer than that F3. Here's the Duraflex Glow F Model S. If I need something to go straight with a bit of finish, this is what I'll grab. Little slide to the right, not much, but a much harder finish than anything else. Here is the Lucid Sergeant. These I typically forehand, but I'll backhand them as well. Nice, hard, straight finish. If I'm into a wind or I can't have the disc turn over, I'll grab these. Here's that BioFuzion. A little bit softer, but also very new. You can see it's basically the same flight. The big difference just being that it's much newer than the other. And last but not least, the fun ones, the distance drivers. These two are, I'm out of breath. These two are Lucid Raiders. This one is a little older than this one. This one is a little softer and also will flex a little bit more than this one. For overstable, I have a 400D1, and for most overstable, an almost new Lucid Defender. Let's start off with the soft Raider. These I'm looking to get 370 to 400. Nice and low, so I don't have to walk far. And you can see it's basically straight. I mean, had I given it some height, maybe it would fly a little further. Distance drivers are not always your furthest flying discs. You need to realize that. I just got that Opto Sapphire way out there further, and I think it's like 157 gram. Here's the other Raider, Lucid Raider. Again, straight, flat. They could basically be sitting on top of each other. You don't see much of a difference on the backhand with those, but on the forehand, the second one is a little bit more overstable. Here's the 400D1. This one is way more overstable. This one I typically forehand. Threw it pretty hard on a little bit of hyzer. It never flipped up. Flew out there, and it's 50 feet short of the others. And last but not least, Lucid Defender. This thing is very overstable. Pretty much the same flight as that D1, but it's newer, so it has a much harder finish. And that's it. I'm gonna go out there, grab the laser rangefinder, and shoot back to the bag, and I'll flash the distances up on screen. Please don't laugh.